If we was to fight right now on the streets, I'll break neck. And that's on my kids. And you know it, I know it, and the whole world know it. And
when that happens, or is it like...
I just really don't like that dude.
You know? Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. That's like,
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your...
Terence Crawford and Gervonta have been arguing for a long time, but we never thought things could get so bad until they finally met in person.
I got a question for you, Tank. At 147, how does a fight with you and Terence Crawford look?
147? Shit, if I tap that trend, you know he going to sleep.
I already know. I already know he
ain't got no chance.
I already know he.
It's almost fight week for Gervonta Davis. As he finishes training for his 31st fight and aims for his 29th knockout, he and his opponent, Roach, had a behind-the-scenes press meeting. They sat down for a roundtable interview in Brooklyn, near the fight venue. Meanwhile, Terence Crawford has been in New York since Keyshawn Davis's fight against Dennis Baroni.
Whoever, I told Tank know what's up. You know what I mean? He know what he up against when he fights Shakur or Keyshawn. You know what I mean? He want to fight these.
The fight took place on Valentine's Day at Madison Square Garden, with big names like Terence Crawford and Claressa Shields in attendance, along with other top boxers. Since then, Crawford has stayed in New York, planning to travel to Saudi Arabia to watch Shakur Stevenson fight Floyd Schofield. Surprisingly, Crawford showed up at the press meeting between Gervonta Davis and Roach. Things quickly got out of control when Crawford interrupted the meeting after Gervonta Davis confronted him about his recent comments, leading to a brawl.
He would never even think about to come up to 154.
All right, what about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. But Tank would never come from 35 to 50.
Crawford admitted to making the comments and even dared Gervonta to do something about it. But before Davis could react, Crawford moved first and shoved him. They two were quickly pulled apart. Here's what really happened and the statement Crawford made that started their latest feud. The 37-year-old from Omaha, Nebraska, has achieved more than most fighters dream of since turning pro in March 2008. He has won world titles in 4 weight divisions and became the undisputed champion at both super lightweight and welterweight. As he gets ready for a mega fight against Mexican superstar Canelo Alvarez later this year, Crawford has sent a strong message to a reigning world champion, calling him arrogant.
These little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around.
Speaking on the Cigar Talk podcast, Crawford shared his thoughts on WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Davis, admitting that he doesn't like the 30-year-old from Baltimore. Just really don't like that dude. I don't like anything about him. I feel like he's just one of those arrogant guys who hides behind what he has. He's always surrounded by security guards, and because he's in the spotlight a certain way, but in some situations he wouldn't be like that. When asked if he respects Davis as a fighter, Crawford responded, "Damn good fighter. I respect him in the ring. He's got skills, power, and great boxing ability, but his personality and the way he acts..."
About no fighting in the ring. If me and you was to fight outside, I will break your neck.
Fight between the two American stars seems unlikely anytime soon due to the weight difference between them. Crawford last fought at 154 lbs in August and is set to face Canelo at 168 lbs. On the other hand, the highest weight class Davis has fought in is super lightweight, with most of his success coming at lightweight. Despite this, Davis has been unstoppable in his division, holding an undefeated 30-0 record. He currently holds the WBA lightweight title in a highly competitive division that is in desperate need of unification bouts.
In the limelight and stuff like that, but in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter, though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But, like, his core personality and his ways.
Vasyl Lomachenko has the IBF title, while Shakur Stevenson holds the WBC belt. Kesson Davis recently won the WBO title from Dennis Barrick on Valentine's Day with a brutal body shot knockout. Terence Crawford was there to watch his training partner Davis beat Barrick. After the fight, Crawford told FightHub that Gervonta "Tank" Davis wouldn't do well against Kesson or Shakur. He said Tank knows what he's up against if he fights them. According to Crawford, Tank prefers to fight opponents who aren't mentally strong enough for a full fight. He believes Shakur and Kasan will be the ones to give Tank his first losses.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens, or is it like...
Shakur and Kasan have the same mindset and recently shared their thoughts on a possible fight with Gervonta Tank Davis in
No, they ain't gonna give them no fight. They not mentally there, you know what I mean? They might have a little skills here and there, but mentally wise...
With Talksport.com. Kasan spoke with confidence, comparing a fight with Tank to the way Terence Crawford dominated Errol Spence Jr. in July 2023 to become the undisputed welterweight champion. I see myself giving Tank the same kind of beating that Terence gave Spence, Kasan told Talksport.com. His style is perfect for me. I'm young, and I don't think the fight will last all 12 rounds, but if it does, I can go the distance. I'm smarter than him, both inside and outside the ring. I'm just smarter, period. The only thing people will talk about is that one punch.
Keep it up, that whole fight. And them two guys right there, you know what I mean, is going to be the ones that, you know, give him his first hit.
I have power, and I've knocked fighters out with one punch, but Tank has done it many times in a row. We all know he has that one punch. Knockout power, but people haven't seen my full potential yet. I've only had 12 fights, and I've only been fighting at the elite level for 3 of them. My next fight against Ivan Baranchyk will be my 4th at this level, so there's still a lot people don't know about me. I'm already better than what I've shown, Kasan said.
I got round 5.
Yeah, I got round 6.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if
The ball is in his court. I can't say I'm going to send him an offer. Turki Al-Sheikh can. Turkey has the money. I don't have the kind of money to offer Gervonta Davis a big enough deal, Stevenson said. I don't know why the fight hasn't happened yet. He's a strange guy. And to be honest, I don't have much respect for him. Davis is set to return to the ring on March 1st in Brooklyn against WBA super featherweight champion Lamont Roach. If he
A little prediction on the fight, talked about Errol has a metal shield and you have a glass shield. Talk about the punch resistance. What do you think it takes assessment, man?
At this point, it looks like Vasyl Lomachenko is the top option for Gervonta Tank Davis. Davis's team had reached out to Lomachenko last year about a fight, but the Ukrainian boxer decided to take a break from the sport instead. The ongoing tension between Davis and Terence Crawford seems to have started at the Ring Magazine Awards in London this past January. The event brought together some of boxing's biggest stars, but Tank Davis was noticeably absent. Even though he has an unbeaten record of 30 wins with 28 knockouts, he reportedly wasn't invited, possibly due to his rocky relationship with Riyadh Season and Sheikh Turki Al-Sheikh, who owns the Ring Magazine.
5, right?
He ain't fighting no real guys at 47.
See, okay. What about, everyone's talking about...
While a fight between Terence Crawford and Gervonta Tank Davis is unlikely to ever happen, some believe it wouldn't be an easy win for Crawford. In an interview with Real Life Productions, multi-division world champion Roy Jones Jr. shared his thoughts on the matchup. "That's a good damn fight," he said, believing it would be competitive if they fought just below the welterweight limit. "I don't see anybody around beating Bud unless they're way bigger than him," Jones explained. "But don't sleep on the fact..."
Crawford, on the other hand, I don't see nobody around that's gonna beat Bud unless it's somebody way bigger than him. But don't sleep on the fact that
because they both have very high boxing IQs and Tank is very explosive, that's what makes it interesting, Roy Jones Jr. continued. That's the one thing Tank has that Errol Spence didn't: explosiveness. In boxing, an explosive fighter can go a long way. I was only able to move up in weight the way I did because I was so explosive. That kind of power keeps opponents in check. For now, both fighters are focused on their own paths. Crawford is chasing a massive fight against super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez, which would require him to move up 14 pounds. Meanwhile, Tank is set to return to the ring on March 1st against Lamont Roach Jr. at the Barclays Center. According to
that's a good daggone fight, you understand me? Matter of fact, I'm saying that's a good damn fight, you understand me? Because they both have very high IQs and Tank is very explosive. See, that's the one thing.
The fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez seems to be on track. Gervonta "Tank" Davis has now inserted himself into the conversation. Reports suggest that Crawford and Canelo have agreed to a deal for their mega fight to take place this year, bringing together two of the best pound-for-pound fighters in boxing. The fight is believed to have come together after both met separately with Saudi chief Turki Al-Sheikh in London over the weekend, following a year of back-and-forth discussions. While most of the boxing world is excited about Crawford versus Canelo, one of the sport's biggest stars, Tank Davis,
I'm easy work. I heard him say, I'm easy work. If I was easy work, well, you would take all that money that he's offering.
With Gervonta, Tank Davis seemingly not a fan of the Crawford versus Canelo fight, his coach, Calvin Ford, has also shared his thoughts on how the fight might play out. The debate over who would win between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford continues to stir excitement in the boxing world. It would be one of the biggest fights in the sport, featuring two pound-for-pound greats. However, Crawford would have to make a significant jump in weight to take on the Mexican champion. When speaking with FightHub, Tank's trainer,
Terence Crawford Canelo situation, do you think that's a fight where they could get to a weight that makes sense? Do you think that the weight would affect Terence Crawford?
I mean, Canelo's the king. Whatever he say, you know what I'm saying?
Calvin Ford gave Canelo Alvarez his respect, calling him the king and saying, "It's a good fight, and I'd like to see it and the outcome of it." Canelo has been making some good moves for his fights. Ford also shared his thoughts on Terence Crawford's last fight, where he moved up to 154 lbs to face Israil Madrimov, but couldn't secure a stoppage. It was his first fight at that weight, so you can't say he didn't carry the power. Up there. He had to make adjustments, Ford explained.
I like to see that fight, the outcome of it, you know what I'm saying? And then watching Canelo been making some good moves, as far as fights and whatnot,
For the best updates on boxing news, big moments, events, and all the action, make sure to stay connected by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest content. Until next time, peace out.